What's up, everybody? AJ Kirsch here, the voice of Buzz in WWE 2K19. It's Wednesday, which means it is not time for another episode of WWE 2K-fabe because the last episode just came out on Monday. That was it. We got to the end of my career mode. So that's it for WWE 2K-fabe. I asked you guys to send in your questions, any lingering questions you might have for me about the voiceover process, the motion capture process, the audition process, anything that happened before or during the entire process of WWE 2K19. I asked you to ask me your final questions. I mean, this isn't the last chance ever you'll be able to get to ask me questions. I'm pretty available on social media, the links to which are in the description of this video. But I asked you to send in your questions. You have done so. So today is a Q&A episode. I probably should have come up with a title for this before I started recording, but here we are. So I'm just going to call it WWE Q&A-fabe. Why not? I like it. It just kind of, it's a transitionary name. It's a paper name. We'll just roll with it for this episode. More bonus content coming on Friday. I'm going to dig up another old wrestling match of mine. You seem to be enjoying those, so that's going to be coming on Friday. And then Monday, I'm going to kind of start the new chapter of my YouTube channel and actually share some thoughts on the current product. Top of my list is Becky Lynch and why I think she is the best thing in WWE right now and probably the best thing to hit the women's division ever, maybe? I don't know. That's a tall claim, but I feel like there's merit to it. Anyway, we'll get into that on Monday. Right off the bat, I want you to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know exactly when new videos drop. As I said, social media information is in the description of this video, as is a link to my merchandise page. And if you use code WWE2K19 at checkout, you get 20% off your entire order, and shirts ship worldwide. So no matter where you're at, you're guaranteed to get a shirt. I've got over a dozen designs in sizes and styles for men and women. So I appreciate you taking a look at my merchandise page. Let's dive in to some questions. I am seeing these for the first time. So first we're going to go to YouTube, and then I'm going to check Twitter to see if anybody has any last second questions. So here we go. Trey M. Ooh, this is a long one. When first reading the script, did you expect Buzz to face Triple H at WrestleMania due to the whole story being Triple H versus Buzz? And while okay, so that was, I guess, the first part of the question. Yes, I did. Now that Vince McMahon is in his 70s or whatever, Triple H just seems like the natural choice for the ultimate antagonist. You know, he's the authority. He's probably going to inherit the reins of the company once Vince McMahon dies. So, yeah, I thought it would be Triple H. I didn't think he would just be kind of the special guest referee in the main event of WrestleMania and then handing Buzz the championship. I actually kind of would have liked to have seen Triple H kind of, feign the gesture of respect and then pedigree Buzz in the middle of the ring and kind of end WrestleMania and end my career mode on a bit of a cliffhanger. Mostly because that means they would have to bring me back next year. Or actually, bring somebody. They wouldn't have to bring me back necessarily for 2K20. They'd have to continue Buzz's story. I don't think we've seen my career mode continue from game to game. We've seen, Baron Blades popped up numerous times. So we've seen some recurring characters. But I would love to see a story that continues to develop from year to year. So, but, that's hindsight. That's 2020. I hope the folks from 2K are watching. That's my constructive criticism, but, you just hired me to be a voice. You didn't ask for my input. So, but that's what I think. Trey M did ask for my input, so that's my input on that part of the question. Let's continue. And while reading and recording, were you surprised that the final career match was against AJ Styles and not Triple H? Okay, so a continuation of the last question. Yes, I did. And that he was only a referee. I covered that. Seems weird to me that they didn't have the big Mania match or even a one-on-one match except for a zombie Triple H if you decide. That's true. If you go that route, you do encounter and fight zombie Triple H because wrestling. But I do appreciate the swerve and not getting what was expected. I think that was one of the reasons they went with not Triple H. I think, like I said, people kind of expect Triple H to be the final boss per se. So I think it's good. You usually don't get the championship until WrestleMania. Depending on the route you chose, you either, you win it and then you lose it because of the cashing in of the Money in the Bank and AJ Styles and Finn. Well, spoilers. Anyway, we'll move on to the last part of the question. And do you think we should have gotten a Buzz versus Triple H match and having it at Mania? Thanks for the content. You're welcome. My pleasure. Yeah, I mean, that's the obvious choice, I guess, is Buzz versus Triple H at WrestleMania. I feel like the story didn't suffer at all, per se, because it wasn't Buzz and Triple H at WrestleMania. But, you know, part of me wishes that it was. I don't know. We'll see what happens next year. See if they make any changes. I'm sure changes are coming. What those changes are, I am dying to know, just like everybody else. But they are knee-deep in the process right now, last I heard. Okay. Trey M., appreciate your question. Katie Schwoyer asking, do you still keep in touch with the Manny? Yes, I do. Manny Faberino, as I know him, real name Mansour Al-Shihail, is, you know, I actually knew the guy. He's Cole Quinn, by the way. Manny plays Cole Quinn. He and I have known each other for years. We have crossed paths in many different locker rooms in Northern California, including Hood Slam. He was trained by the Stoner Brothers in Oakland, California, right alongside Shotzi Blackheart. If anybody's familiar with independent wrestling, women's wrestling, then you probably know Shotzi Blackheart. And he, shortly after doing WWE 2K19, was signed to NXT and appeared on the Greatest Royal Rumble. I have those kind of flip-flopped. He appeared on the Greatest Royal Rumble, and then he got signed to NXT. But he's in NXT right now. I wish him all the best. I think he's going to kill it. He's smart. He's talented. He is quick-witted. He is athletic. I may have already said that. Did I say athletic twice? I don't know. Maybe I did. Anyway, he is that athletic. I should have said it twice if I didn't. But yeah, Manny's the best. And actually, I'm going to be shooting a project in Florida all of next week. I leave Sunday. I fly back to the Bay the following Sunday. And I'm trying to touch base with Manny. Trying to hang out, catch a workout. And if I'm not mistaken, some of the NXT house show dates actually line up with my itinerary. So I might actually try to get out there. Preview for future YouTube content, I'm actually going to try vlogging my trip to Florida. I don't know how much of the actual project I'm going to be able to capture. I am not at liberty to discuss the details of it, but whatever I can film in and around it, from waking up the morning I fly out to getting back home when I finally fly back. So stay tuned for my first attempt at a vlog for that upcoming Florida project. Lieutenant Reven. What was the hardest scene to film? And by hardest, I mean due to laughing, forgetting lines, etc. Okay. Hardest to, like, keep it together was the stupid Miz dance. I cut a promo on Miz where I was in the ring dressed as Miz, and I started doing the hokey pokey, and instead of calling it the hokey pokey, I called it the stupid Miz dance. And then when I did the stupid Miz dance, where I moved back and forth like that, you can hear it in my voice where I almost crack, because when I was cutting that promo, there was also a monitor up so that I can see a computer image of myself moving back and forth. And I can't tell you how many times, like, I would just get distracted where this flesh-toned meat puppet computer model of me was just doing everything I was doing. So I would look up at the monitor and, like, do weird stuff just to watch me on the monitor doing that weird stuff. So I caught a glimpse of myself doing the stupid Miz dance as I did it, and you can hear it in my voice. I almost cracked, but I was able to keep it together, and I'm very happy that they actually kept that take of the promo. As far as forgetting lines, you know, it happens. You stumble over a line every now and then. I don't even like stumbling over my words when I'm recording this, but, you know, we roll with it. That's how it works. We were on a time crunch. We were recording the voiceover and doing the motion capture. So, you know, we couldn't afford a whole lot of flubs, but there were monitors up to help us. So if, like, we had a super long promo, we didn't have to memorize the whole thing. You know, we could kind of cheat the monitor so that if I'm cutting a promo on somebody, the monitor can be, like, just over their shoulder. So we had ways of expediting the process so that there were as few errors as possible. Lieutenant Revian, appreciate your question. Thanks as always for your comments, your questions. You pop up all the time, so I appreciate it. Katie Schwoyer, same to you. Thank you for your question. Let's move on to Kay Reed. This is wrestling. Clap, 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 clap. Thank you. Kay Reed, hit that sub button. That's right. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you know exactly when new videos drop, because even though WWE 2K-fabe is over, more stuff is still on the way. Speaking of which, I hope to be able to kind of keep up the content schedule that I've had. Monday, Wednesday, Friday seems to be working out pretty good. It has been a challenge at times. It hasn't been a challenge that I couldn't work around, but I just may not be able to quite keep up that consistency moving forward, depending on my schedule and if I'm able to go through my old hard drives and find old matches, or I don't know, there could be any life could get in the way. That's all I'm trying to say. So it may not be every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but that is the goal, to keep that kind of regularity. Night Killer asking, what was your reaction when you first heard your voice in WWE 2K19 My Career? So the first time I actually heard any footage with my voice, like any of the final footage, was the trailer release in like early September. I think it was over like the first week of September or something, was when My Career mode trailer dropped, and I could actually, that was the first time I could even start talking about it. Like, show my, talk to friends and be like, hey, check it out, I'm in 2K19. I had to sit on that for like 5 months, which was not an easy secret to keep, but that's the nature of the business. You sign something saying you're not going to talk about it. So couldn't say anything to anybody. But I was nervous, I guess, because it was the first time that I've heard it. I feel like it's always a little weird when you hear yourself as others hear yourself. So that's with any project. That's with Hood Slam or hosting or acting or any of that stuff. I'm just kind of like, well, that's what I sound like right now. But I was excited, extremely excited to see the feedback. I watched as many of those like reaction videos on YouTube as I could. I was scouring social media to see what people were talking, with their feedback, and people were legit excited that My Career was fully voiced. And early reviews were positive, which was great. I mean, because of as excited as I was to be a part of this, there is a part of me that was like, wrestling fans can be venomous. Video game fans can be venomous. If they hate this, I'm never going to be able to show my face in either community again. But thankfully, the early buzz, no pun intended, was positive. The reviews, even more positive. I think it was unanimous that people seem to really enjoy the fully voiced characters in 2K19. And, I am lucky beyond description and grateful beyond description to be a small part of a big deal. Thank you, Night Killer, for your question. Alex A. Boom! Good times. Thanks, Alex. Rupin Pal says, I love your work, man, in WWE 2K19. You are awesome. 5 smiley face emojis. Thank you, Rupin Pal. I appreciate that. And Suicide TNA saying, awesome. Thanks for answering my question, dude. And good video. Look forward to next video and future content. Thank you, Suicide TNA. I appreciate that as well. That's it for YouTube questions. That's it for the comments. By the way, if you have more questions or any comments or feedback, sound off in the comments below. I check them. I'd love to hear what you have to say about really this or anything else. Sound off. Don't be shy. Let's go to Twitter and refresh this real quick. Looks like we got a couple questions on Twitter. By the way, I'm on Twitter at AJ Kirsch. I'm also on Twitter at BroJBrody, where I pretend to be Broseph Joe Brody. I won't often admit to being the same person. It's just more fun to keep some separation between the two, but I'm the same person. It's like, yeah. Okay, Michael Grid saying, at Michael Grid, players have so many diverse creator wrestlers. Is there a strategy in formulating a voice that is universal and fits the looks players create? Not on my end. I was just using my voice. I wasn't given any direction as far as how to change my voice. I think the people who were facilitating the auditions were listening to somebody who kind of sounds just like anybody, which I guess they heard that in my voice. Beyond that, they were well aware that your creator wrestler could look like anything, could be, the super short, super big, super fat, super muscular, super lean. So they just wanted a voice that they feel like could go with just about anybody. So lucky for me, they thought that in my voice. And lo and behold, I am my player. Let's see. At Phenomenal L. Cole asks, who did the voiceover for John Cena in My Career mode? That was probably one of the most common questions I've ever received throughout all of 2K-fabe. Couldn't tell you. It's out there somewhere. I think I saw the person's name once. I think the more important question is, why didn't John Cena... That's unfair the way I phrased that. It makes it sound like he denied it. Why didn't John Cena... Did I just say that? I don't know. Why? Okay, I don't know if it was up to John Cena. I don't know if it was up to 2K or WWE, or why wasn't John Cena's actual voice used in the game? I can finally find the phrasing for that question. I wish I had the answer. It could have something to do with the fact that John Cena is now a major movie star, and I mean that in the way that maybe there's something with his agent or Screen Actors Guild that prevented him from being a part of the project. I don't think he would. I mean, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I wish I knew. I'm just speculating right now, but that's my guess, is that there was either something with his agent or a dispute over money, or the Screen Actors Guild prevented him from being a part of the project. But it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks when there's 26 actual WWE superstars voicing themselves in 2K19. When one doesn't, and that one is John Cena, arguably the biggest name in WWE in the last 15 years, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And, you know, that just, maybe they thought they could get John Cena when they wrote him in, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure 2K and WWE Games has had no shortage of feedback about John Cena's voice, and I hope that they are going to do something to avoid a similar situation in 2K20. All right, WWE Jardine asking, I back the Who Did John Cena voice. I mean, man, it was awful. I know. Never should 2K find someone random to do John's voice. If Cena wasn't available, text would have done. I would be happy with that. In a fully voiced over game, if then there's just text for John Cena, I feel like that would raise even more questions. You know, look, WWE Games was on a time crunch. I mean, they're always on a time crunch. 2K Games is one of the biggest video game, you know, designers in the world. They have a lot on their plate. They only have so much time to figure things out. I don't know if something changed last minute or what, but I don't think it would have been a good idea to do text just for John Cena, because then, I don't know, it just would have put this weird layer between the experience and, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to get at here, and now I'm just groping for phrases, but I'm glad they didn't do text for John Cena's voice, but yes, it sucks they couldn't actually get John Cena. All right, last question. Anthony Scats on Twitter. How long did you have to prepare? Did they send you a script well in advance, or was most of it done on arrival? I did not have long to prepare. They sent me a script a couple days before we started shooting, so I had time to review it and kind of, you know, rehearse. Like, when I'm studying a script, it's one thing to just read it, but I need to actually feel the words coming out of my face, because otherwise I could stumble over something. If something's a little wordy, I oftentimes don't feel that until I'm saying it out loud. So I had a few days to go over a lot of the script, but the first part of the script. But really, they would send me the next day's script the like hour or two after we wrapped the prior day. So like on Monday, they may have sent me the script the prior Friday. As we're going into Tuesday, they send me Tuesday's script Monday evening. So I print it out, I read it as much as I can. I take it with me to the gym and review it that morning while I'm doing cardio, and just, I do my best to be as prepared as possible. But they didn't give me a lot of time. So I'm, even more happy about my performance, considering the fact that I just didn't have a lot of time to prepare. But some of it we even, edited and reworked day of as we were going, because I was doing motion capture with a lot of top-notch independent talent, and the story was also written by a former WWE writer. So it's like, if we have a suggestion to make that makes it feel more authentic, and this is the most authentic in my career ever, because my player goes to the Indies, he goes to Japan, so we had a lot of experience to draw from with, 8 to 10 independent workers with all different breadths of experience, having worked all over the world. So, and kudos to 2K, because they were very receptive to edits and little tweaks and changes to promos and things like that. So it made for not, we had to be on top of it because we were on that time crunch, but it made for a very, enjoyable work experience despite the pressure of, you know, just having to get it done. All right. Appreciate you asking all of your questions. Like I said, if you have any feedback or any additional questions, I'll get to them eventually. You can sound off in the comments below. I will see you Friday for more bonus content. I'm going to dig up another wrestling match from my career, probably add my career, my actual career, my personal career. I'm going to add my own commentary over it if it doesn't already. If you haven't yet, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know exactly when new videos drop. And I will see you Friday for more bonus content. Till next time, I'm AJ Kirsch. Take care, y'all.